Hey, Drake,
Yes.
is it true that we've been sitting here trying to get this thing started for 2.5 hours?
Time has no meaning when you're distracted.
Welcome to Pardon the Distraction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our newest and latest adventure here on Pardon the Distraction. I'm one of your hosts, DJBLUEPDX, and joining me right now, of course, is TheLostDrake. Hi.
Hey.
We got on this call at noon, and it is now 2:10, and we have managed to not get started recording until now because we get so psyched. We get so distracted
we were like
so quickly.
doing work, and we were like talking to each other. We're talking about sponsors and stuff for the podcast. We were talking about
and the charity with Bungie,
which we're going to talk about that. We have a lot of stuff to discuss, and we're actually really excited. The month of May is going to be really crazy for video games. We were talking about this in the lead up to May. So the big thing is that we have a lot of in-person events. We have stuff that's going to be happening over the next 4 weeks that is just mind-bending because we have such a large amount of video games.
Oh, God, yeah.
From the last 2 weeks, and then this week alone, and then we have more, and then we have more, and then we're going into June, which one of my favorite games of all time is coming out. So actually, two of my favorite games of all time are coming out, but we'll talk about all that. So we'll start off with our two reviews, our first impression reviews of two games that just came out. We're going to talk about Dead Island 2, and then we're also going to talk about Star Wars Survivor. Both these games have been heavily anticipated for a very long time. Obviously, Dead Island 2, they announced this back in, I believe, 2015 at E3, like a long time ago, and we never heard anything of it. And then all of a sudden it came out, and let me tell you, me and DJ have been really enjoying it. So, DJ, what's your thoughts and impressions on it so far?
Everybody who knows, like, I started playing Dying Light 1 way back on Mixer, and in the original days, I was absolutely enamored and fascinated with it. And it was one of those things that we just played constantly in my group of friends. I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Techland on a couple different projects with Mixer, and they would regularly come in and drop all sorts of ridiculous weapons for us. And I've still got weapons that I Sherpa people and hand to them in Dying Light 1 because they've never played it. It's funny that people have it and they're always like, well, which one do you like better? To be fair, they are equal in design. They are both fantastic games, fantastic storylines, and a fantastic unique element to each one. And they're both awesome. Yeah. So I remember when I got to interview them at PAX 2017-18, PAX West 2018, I was interviewing them.
Deep Silver or Treyarch? Or not Treyarch, but Techland, sorry.
Techland, yeah. Got to interview them about the development and evolution of this, and it was really, really cool to discuss the concept and what they were wanting to do as they brought it up. Well, it took them many, many years to get over. You know, we also got to deal with the pandemic,
COVID.
But once you got into this game, it took everything that was kind of funky before and rectified the situation. Yeah. Now with these new updates, not only are they bringing out new storylines, new elements, and new achievables, but you've got new and different things you can be doing, which means you continue adding on. And the best part about it is the more people who get this game, especially when it's on sale, the more times we get to go back and play the storyline and help you out. And trust me, we've gotten to a point where Sherpaing people through the game is awesome. Now, I'll be honest, the one thing that I always say is if it's somebody else's game, don't play the game for them. Just be there in case they fall off a building or blow themselves up or accidentally get killed in unnecessary violence. So
or grenade throwing.
Grenade throwing is a fast way to die. So, but no, I think it's wonderful. They have done a great job maintaining it with the updates, and every time something gets out of whack, they are on top of trying to fix it. I think the only thing that's still really left to be worked on is the periodic desyncing that happens in multiplayer.
Yeah.
But it's so much better than it used to be. It's awesome. So
Yeah, it was a lot
I
of
can't
fun.
recommend this game enough. It is hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep. And then on the flip side, then you have Deep Silver, which just came out with their game, and
Dead Island 2.
Dead Island 2. And so far, I will personally say
was that what you wanted to talk about? Was Dead Island 2, or did you say Dying Light?
both.
Okay, good.
So it's fine.
Dead Island.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We played both last week, so it's fine.
Sorry.
I know. Like,
had too
here's
much
the thing.
coffee.
Like, Techland, they are awesome, and that genre. Normally, I hate zombie games. I hate them, and I think the big, fuel for that is because of Call of Duty. It's the same game over and over again. No story. It sucks.
Right.
I hate it.
Which is, that's a very unique routine. And what's interesting is
it's a horde based game, just like Gears of War has its horde mode. That's what it is. It's not a story. Anybody that says otherwise, you're wrong. It's a horde based game. It's not story. It has Easter eggs, which a lot of people say that is a story, but whatever. I'm talking about legit stories like Dying Light and also like Dead Island 2.
Now, interesting, Dead Island originally, let's talk about that real fast.
Yeah.
When it first came out, it's an island. It was absolutely had never been done before in this open world type of design with the number of AI that were functioning at any given time to be the zombies.
Yeah.
It was wild, and the map just kept getting bigger. And but you felt isolated in that sense.
Did it have DLCs? Dead Island 1?
Yeah, there was Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Riptide was really good. I forgot about that.
Awesome.
Oh,
but then they went on a hiatus, and it's almost, what is it, 8 years later, 10 years later?
It was forever. I feel like it was an 8-year development cycle. It was a long time. People thought it wasn't even going to come out because so many games were getting canceled left and right. So, yeah.
And thank God it did, because if there's ever been an update to a game, like the sequel, that stays with the true meta of its original design, they took it and just ramped it up and made it that much more nuts. And
the gore engine alone.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I've added
this new gore engine.
It's so
if you get queasy by blood and bones and organs,
turn it off, man. Just turn off the gore engine.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you can sit there and slice zombies open with a knife and literally put strips through their flesh. It's weird. But it's also entertaining because it does a lot of weird stuff. Like, we chopped off some guy's leg and it was just spinning in place. And there's a clip of it, too. There's a clip of it. I don't know if you've seen the clip, DJ. Somebody posted it for me from my community. And dude, it's so funny. So I posted on TikTok. It's probably one of the funniest videos. Because I'm like, DJ, do you see this? He's like, no. I'm like, DJ, look at my stream right now. Look at my stream. And he sat on it and it stopped spinning. So I had to hit it with my sword and it started spinning again. And I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, so besides the point, we dived into this. And the cool thing is there's eight different slayers, right? Is it 8? Or is it
what do you mean?
There's Slayers, like the actual characters that you can pick.
I believe there's a total of 6 that you can pick from.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be more added down the road. But the way that the game starts off is very interesting. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because it is fairly new. But basically, you start off in a plane and something happens, and then you get to pick between one of the 6, and then the narrative for each one of them is unique. And there's actual different variances based on the Slayer that you play. So it's
and
really
based
cool.
on who, and also based on who activates whoever's the leader of the game.
Yeah.
Because you and Joe and I all have 3 different characters.
I picked
and
Amy.
depending on whose game we're inside of, it's wild. Yesterday, Joe and I went around, and there were things that were a little bit different.
Yeah,
they were funky.
Yeah.
But it's
that's
super
because your
wild.
character is always smoking weed.
Also, my character is a full-on stoner dog, like no holes barred, full-on agree.
And the other cool thing that I really like that they did is, like, my character Amy, because this touches home for me big time too. She actually has a disability. She actually has one of the spring legs. She actually has a limb replacement, and she has one of the spring legs, which a lot of runners and pro athletes that are in handicap leagues and stuff like that, they actually use these.
Differently able.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yes, but what I'm saying is, being a person that is actually handicapped, the fact that I picked the character not even knowing that her leg was removed.
Yeah.
That was also a cool factor. And the fact that you, like, stomp out their faces with the actual It's
Dude,
pretty,
it's so
pretty
brutal.
cool. Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm really loving my character, and the only other one that I actually really did want to play. I mean, obviously a lot of people were like, I'm gonna pick the hot firefighter, but the other one was, God, what was her name? The other chick, she had like pigtails. God, I can't think of what her name is. She has pigtails, and she's like she's
Hold on, let me look it up.
God, I can't remember. Anyway, so there's 6 different characters you can all pick. They're drastically different. There's one that looks like I would say like Post Malone.
So you got Amy, Jacob, Danny, Ryan, Carla, and Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno's the one that looks like he should be Post Malone's brother.
But Bruno, well, wait.
Bruno is the one with all the face tattoos and the dreads.
That's right. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is basically that. Yeah,
He's
and then
Malone.
Danny's the blonde.
Yeah, that's the one with the pigtails, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
Ryan's the firefighter. And then there's Carla, who is a street smart motorcycle racer. And then you've got Bruno, who is just a hot mess. And then my character is Jack.
Yep. Yep.
And Jack basically.
No, you have Bruno. Bruno's
no, Jacob. Sorry. No, Jacob. I'm Jacob.
You have Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob is basically he reminds me of a really kind of chilled out but British
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. And then like mine is very very interesting. I really like my character a lot. The things she says too, and she's like, there's moments where it has like content creator spots where you go into a content creator house. We were like, oh, it's Amaranth's house, and then it ended up being like all about.
That's right.
A content creator that was trying to get attention for blowing up zombies. And
We
it was like
laughed
talking
so
about,
hard.
oh, everybody needs to get in my chat and follow. And it was just so funny the way they did it. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
was.
really relevant because I could see something like that happening in the apocalypse. Like if zombies started attacking, there would be that person trying to make content out of blowing up zombies. I mean, let's just be real. It'd be like Mr. Beast probably, but yeah, because there'd be nobody to do charity for anymore. Everybody'd be dead. So you'd have to do something. But yeah, so those type of things, like that game really turned out really good. The discoverables, and the other cool thing about it is that it has dynamic loot. So like me and DJ would open up the same box and he would get something cool or I would get something cool and we'd actually get pissed at each other. Be like, oh, you always get the cool stuff.
Well, and but
then you could drop
it's dynamic. Yeah, that's the thing. Like
that's the cool thing. Is that like if he picks something up and I'm like, oh, dude, that's awesome. He's like, oh, here you go. I don't need it. I already have 3 of those because I'm an asshole. But besides, I mean, we already dropped the ball on that one this time. All right, sorry, Rhino. You're gonna have to bleep a lot of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, he says.
Well.
Well, anyway.
I forgot we're trying to reduce our swearing on our own podcast because for some reason YouTube has got a wild hair up their butt.
Yeah, they don't like cussing. And not only that, it's okay though. I'm actually okay with it though, because realistically, like when we go to events, we don't really cuss anyway. Like if you think about it like that, it's just like we're always on that, PG-13, like, but speaking of PG-13, I don't know if you know this, the first F-bomb ever in the MCU is going to be dropped by Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy this Thursday, which, by the way, I am seeing it this weekend, so I hope you see it so we can talk about it next week, because you always take like 6 weeks to watch movies, and then I gotta cuss again. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
How are we supposed to reviews on movies before anybody else does if you don't go see them, DJ?
Because it requires me opening the door.
Well, you know what? Look, sometimes touch grass, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right? But no, all right. So, yeah, Dead Island 2, if you could rate it, DJ, what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, no, it's easily a 9.
Really?
9.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the only reason why...
Actually, no. I would say, let me bring it down to a 9. And here's why. I ran into this situation the other day, and the map and the guidance needs to be a little more clear.
Yeah.
Because there are things like it took me a while to figure out how to get the hell out of Bel Air and back over to Beverly Hills, because when we lost the keys to
the curse of open world, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
does,
So,
the navigation is a little wonky. Yeah, I agree.
But you have to be getting around, and once you get that down,
once you know it, then you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking out big boys.
Yeah.
I figured out how to take down big boys with the right card alignment. Anyways, it is a well thought out game that is exceedingly, I would say, multi-layered. It's very.
I agree with the navigation thing. That's actually why I would drop it down a little bit, but I'm actually going to drop it down a little bit further. I'm going to do an 8.5, and there's the reason why. We are in the age where no game shouldn't be cross-play.
Also that. Yeah, let's bring a ticket to an 8.5. You're absolutely right.
Every game needs to be cross-play at this point. And I know with everything that's going on with Microsoft, which we can talk about that too. That's the whole thing too. But Microsoft and Sony always battling it out, exclusivity, all that stuff. And we all know by now at this point that it's Sony that literally stops these cross-play events. Like it's been brought up numerous times, and they held their foot down forever. They didn't want to do it for Fortnite. They didn't want to do it for all these other games. They're always the last to pull the trigger on cross-play. And I think that's the big thing for a lot of people, because Dead Island 2 would be amazing if you could just boot up and play on Xbox, play with PS5, play with Xbox Series S or X, and then PC, and everybody play together. And
Dying Light does the same thing. Dying Light has the same issue.
Same issue.
And you can do cross console.
Yeah.
Xbox can play with PlayStation.
Yep.
But nobody can play with. I was like, what the?
No, I don't even think you can play cross console on Dying Light. I think it's literally Xbox to Xbox, so 360, Xbox One, not even 360, Xbox One, and like Series X, those. But I think you have to be in the same like genre, like you have to be Xbox. Now, I think the only one that is a little bit different is that, and I think this is the loophole that Xbox is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all saw what happened last week too. They were denied by Europe's reporting institution. I believe it's called CAM, right? CAM?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So CAM actually...
CMA.
CMA.
Or either way, it's,
whatever. CAM.
SEMA.
Yeah, stupid. But anyway, there's so many people that are so confused by this whole buyout. And you know what? At this point, like, I feel like there's people slipping money in people's palms to stop this from happening at this point. I really do. I really, honestly, truly believe that. I don't even think it's a legality thing anymore. I think people are just trying to push the market the way that they want. And after the report started coming out about the stuff that literally Sony was denying exclusivity, and then come to find out in court orders that they were literally doing stuff specifically in their patents to block crossplay, it showed their character. And anybody can deny that until they're blue in the face. It's like all the people that believe in our past president. But, at the end of the day, when facts are there and you see them, it's like you can't deny those. They're real. Like, they're real. So it comes down to this, is that with all that stuff that's happening with Xbox and PlayStation and everything else, crossplay has really got hit with that. And it really drives me nuts, because I know so many people that may have it on Xbox and have it in there. But the weird thing about this whole transition thing and the buyout, now it's not even about that, about how the exclusivities are going to shorten the market. Now it's about cloud gaming. What the
Yeah. No. What in the actual does cloud gaming have to do with this situation in the first place?
Yeah, they're trying to use it as another patsy to get out of making this deal go through. And now it's an issue. It had never been brought up before. Now it's a big concern. I still think, they were saying too, and I read a couple reports on IGN and some other reports too. You can all take those the way you want, right? Every news outlet is paid differently or does things differently, or they sway one way or the other. That's just press, right? That's the way it is. We all learned that with Fox News. But it's the only two political pushes I'm going to put in this whole thing. But I will say this, is that when it comes down to it, there are so many companies out there that do cloud. And Microsoft put it out there for them to be, hey, here's a 10-year deal with Microsoft, and we can put Call of Duty on your system. Nintendo, Nvidia.
Yep.
They just signed 2 other contracts. They just announced another one. I don't know the exact name of it. They just announced it on their Twitter the other day that they signed an exclusivity deal for 10 years if the deal goes through for cloud gaming. And here's the thing is Sony and everybody else basically are counting Nintendo out. Oh, they don't even have a system that can even run that. Okay, a 10-year deal. Think about it this logically. Everybody who's listening to this, 10-year deal. Console cycles normally have a 5-year lifespan. Switch's lifespan is at the 5-year mark. So you're telling me they're not going to have a next-gen system before everybody else?
Yep. Like, come on. Get it together, people.
Like, normally they cater to kids because they want to keep it cheaper and more. But now the market is growing to more an adult culture because now being a nerd is okay. Being able to play those kiddie games or, you know, playing Mario with your wife on the couch is a norm. It's a norm staple. So Nintendo knows this. And Nintendo's always about, what can we do crazy next? I mean, the Joy-Cons are a prime example of that. You know, you look at the Switch, the Wii, like the most like provocative name you could pick. Hey, let's play with each other's Wiis. Like those type of things that they've always done. They know what they're doing. Their marketing team is brilliant. And that's why Nintendo is still number 1 for the most consoles sold in the entire world. Still to this day. You know why? Because they made the DS. They made the Switch.
They also started super early because they had the NES, and that thing basically was in every household in America.
But guess what?
Well, every household worldwide.
Sony was supposed to sign a deal with Nintendo to merge to make an ultimate console, and Sony said, F you, we're going to do it on our own, and left Nintendo high and dry. Now, here's the thing, right? Have you ever noticed that most of those games that were originally on Nintendo do not show up on Sony now? I wonder why. Just saying, there is an underlying beef between them. There always will be. And then Xbox came in, and I still will say this to the day, Dreamcast was late to the party, or early to the party, I should say. Dreamcast was the first console of its type, and so revolutionary, but it was too early. If they would have released at the same time as Xbox and PlayStation when they had their big feud, Sega would still be in the run. Now, also, Sega with news and video games. Look, I'm transitioning all over the place, but we're going to go back to what I was originally talking about, which was Star Wars. After this, the next game we're going to talk about, and crossplay. Sega just bought the company who owns Angry Birds.
I know.
$1.8 billion? But yet they don't make a lot of games. Yeah. So it's really weird to me that they bought that. But maybe that's something, maybe Sega's going to come back into the console race. You never know. I mean, they could. $1.8 billion. You could do a lot with $1.8 billion. I'm just saying. So, you know, they got this giant money stream because mobile games produce the most money out of any game because of buy-in games. Yeah. Like, they know that. You know, customization is a key. Everybody wants to customize their characters. Any game that doesn't have in-game purchases now at this point, like, they're meant to be a one-off game. But, like, you look at Bungie and all these Eververse things. You know, we don't need it. We don't need it to evolve our game. But, God, I want to look cool. I want a horn on my head.
I will jump up in that real fast.
I want this ship that looks like a giant dingus.
Yep.
Why? You don't need it. But guess what? We all do it. And then there's people out there that are like, oh, I hate that I have to spend $20 extra a year for a year's worth of content. But then we'll go around and be a complete hypocrite, go in that same game that they were bashing, and go buy $70 worth of clothes that do nothing for them.
Bingo.
So, and you know what? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to chime in on this one. I know it. And I'm trying to stir you up. I want your comments below, and I want you to tell me why you don't buy games and support developers, because you know how much time it takes? 5 to 10 year development cycle for most games. And if you do not want to support a developer at this day and age because you want instant gratification, then get the out of video games and stop playing them. Thank you. Have a nice day. Go back to Monopoly. All right. Because then you could be the leader and you can cheat the bank all you want. All right. So, Star Wars.
All right. Let's
EA.
let's get into it.
EA. Let's just start off with EA.
Well,
EA has had a bad rap in video games for quite some time.
Now I want to counter this. Go ahead.
But this is why I'm transitioning from what I just said. EA was the one that started the whole loot box debacle back on Battlefront 2 when they were doing pay to win. A lot of people did not like that. And that's what stirred up the internet and caused so much chaos with everybody.
Yep.
And it happened in Overwatch. It happened in so many things. Loot box. Oh my God, I'm not paying for anything. It happened in Destiny 1. So many people upset, riled up. Blah. These same people that were complaining about that back then are now playing the new evolutions of those games and paying money for in-game content. But EA has rectified that situation and started making some really badass games. Titanfall was a prime example. Titanfall 2, amazing game. Both stories, fantastic. Everybody wants Titanfall 3. EA, if you're listening, we want that. Also,
we want Titanfall 3 storyline.
Story, yes. The story for Titanfall 2 is amazing, and everybody agrees. Obviously, we all know about the great Destiny flop, a.k.a. Anthem. Everybody really loved that game. I'm not going to lie. I actually did love the game.
I loved that game.
I loved it, but it needed content.
It needed content. It needed
narrative.
more narrative and less wash, rinse, repeat.
Mm-hmm. The mechanics, the flight systems, everything, it was revolutionary. Nobody had ever done anything like that. It was awesome. And I know a lot of people say, like, EA sucks, blah, I'll never trust them again. Well, guess what? Star Wars came out, The Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Wow. That game was amazing. And I played that game for a single-player game, front to back. I did not play anything else. And at that specific time, there was not a bunch of games coming out. We are not in that situation now. We have a ton of games coming out, so it's hard to pick and choose what to play. But this new game came out. I got it on Xbox Series X. Thank you to Xbox for hooking me up with a copy of that. And DJ got it on PC.
Yes, mad love to AMD.
Yes. So
for that.
Lots of people got to play it. Now the reviews are not so nice on PC.
Oh, and let me I want to dive into this.
Go ahead.
Fast.
I want you to dive into the PC side, then we'll go back to console.
Now, EA Star Wars, there's EA and there's EA Star Wars. EA Star Wars is obviously the Lucasfilm division of that development group. We're talking about the same people who gave me 40, 50 copies of the game to give out over time while I was a partner on Mixer. Very generous. And Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2 was flipping awesome, minus the loot box crap, but it was awesome, and I loved it. It was great to play. Still to this day, it's great to play. Incredible mechanics, great respawns, good fidelity, incredibly sharp, crisp graphics that are
That's because
vibrant.
we win, because we're only bottling bots now, because nobody plays it anymore.
Vibrant, and it had an exceptional frame rate.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Now, it would be one thing if it was just on PC, but it was also having issues on consoles. I would be very interested to understand how it is that nobody in QA discovered on any of the machines that they tested the incredible lack of A, keyboard and mouse support, B, the frame rate for PC, and C, the graphics quality. I can put this thing from low to epic and it stays the same. It does not look any different. I had to upgrade my paging file. And for those of you who don't know what that is, your VRAM, your paging file is where it starts loading things in and out. And on my M.2, I now have a 20 gig paging file reserved just to make sure there's enough room for it to figure out what to do with itself. And that's on top of the 32 gigs of RAM that I already have on top of the RTX 2070 that I've got installed.
Yeah.
This game is gorgeous, beautiful. Anybody who's played the original, the first one in the series, it was incredible. That game was astounding. I played it on PC. It was lovely. Now, I think that there is something to be said for if you are just going to create a port of a console game that's pretty lazy. If I can't make so one of the biggest frustrations is I have things the way that I like them, and I know how to maneuver the way that I like to maneuver in a game and how I like to function with it. When your game can't recognize or accept a change in input, like the side mouse buttons on a mouse, or even the wheel button on a mouse, you have a problem. Sorry. You have a problem. There is an issue with somebody who did drop the ball significantly. And I get that maybe you didn't want to make this a PC game. That's okay. But it is. It's out. It's been sold. It's been purchased. It's been gifted. You need to really think about all aspects of how you're developing this when you're doing it. Some people just do not want to play controller.
Yeah.
But now I have to play controller and keyboard and mouse so that when I'm in battles, I'm running controller because the keyboard layout is so completely unintuitive and you can't change it to meet your needs. I should have full mouse click ability inside of the UI. Why is that missing? And why is it that even after today's update, it's still, I'm lucky if I'm getting 50 or 60 FPS when I should be getting at least 100. Now, that being said, this game just came out last week, and I got to give kudos to them, to EA, Star Wars, and to Respawn, because they managed in, what, less than a week to yank us, to start pushing out fixes and patches.
Well, it came out on Friday, so.
Okay, so, yeah, 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah.
They've already got,
which means they worked through the weekend to get it fixed for us.
And that is dedication. That is definitely that's a good sign. But the counterbalance to that is, all right, but should it have happened in the first place?
So I'm actually reading this
and
right now. No, it's fine. EA Star Wars Twitter account, the aforementioned PC patch has already been released and should be available to download on your storefront of choice. Only one improvement is listed, and it reads as follows: performance improvements for non-ray tracing rendering. If you have ray tracing on, turn it off for the performance upgrade. In short, it seems like this means you can look forward to performance boosts if you're playing the game without ray tracing enabled. If you do have ray tracing enabled, please turn off to get the performance boost. And that's for PC. As far as the console, it's just quality of life fixes. Everything else is working great on the console. I have the complete opposite. DJ actually started playing it before me, and then I was playing it, and then AMD and Xbox, they both hooked me up with a PC code and an Xbox code, so that way I could see the difference between the two. And obviously AMD, anytime that they send me a code for PC, of course I take it because I want to try out the new capabilities of my new graphics card and what I have going forward, because, I want to push to the limits. But when it comes to game launches, right, I have noticed this, and this is maybe just me, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with this. I know there's a lot of PC Master Race or Sony Master Race or Xbox Master Race people out there. And yes, I'm going down this path, DJ. Oh, yes, I am. And I will say this, right? There's a lot of people that think their consoles are better than the other. I don't believe that.
I think everybody's got that thing that they like, Yeah, there's no real right answer.
I believe it's preference Master Race. That is the key word here. Preference Master Race. What you prefer, what makes you happy, and what makes things run smooth. Now, there are games that come out that run better on console than they do PC. This is a prime example as of right now. But that's not to say that they can't release 4 patches in the next week, and then all of a sudden the game's running smoother than silk. Now, a lot of people bitch and complain and like, oh, it launched day one, everything should work. I'm like, obviously you don't know how game development works.
Okay, how do you say I don't know how game development works without saying I don't know how?
Little shut the all right, because guess what? I don't care that your mommy bought it for you for a birthday gift and you can play this game.
Oh, BT dubs.
But I'm just saying, yes. What?
Ray tracing off with VSync off.
Yeah.
And adding the 20 gig paging file.
Yeah.
I'm pulling 70 FPS pretty solidly.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
That's better.
Yeah, it's better.
That is an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you were running at what, 1820?
Oh God, on Friday, I was lucky if I was pulling 30 or 35.
Oh God, that's brutal. That's brutal. But you know, like, and that's what I'm gonna say here is that, you know, no matter what game you're playing. Now, I will say this, right? I know we gave different reviews on it from console to PC, PC to console. And for anybody out there playing it, pick it up and enjoy it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably one of the worst reviewed game launches in history.
But
don't listen to
but it from a storyline. From a storyline aspect and from a content aspect, this game is breathtaking. Yeah. It's breathtakingly gorgeous. You get so engaged in the game. Yeah. The storyline is compelling. The acting is wonderful.
The game is amazing.
Cameron Monaghan is an astoundingly, I would say, accomplished actor, and he does such a great job with Cal.
Yep.
So I'm very adamant about that.
DJ had a couple bubblies. And came in my stream later on that night, and he was like, "Oh my God!" Like, he was getting excited watching me play it, even though he wasn't to that point. And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "Now that I see what the game is supposed to run like, it's awesome."
Yeah, it looks
because
great.
It was good. It was running so smooth, and I was loving it. Everybody in my community who has played it, whether it's on console, the one thing that really did blow my mind was the size of the game. 128 gigabytes to install. Yep. That's a lot for a single-player game, which makes me wonder, is there going to be DLCs for it? Because most of the time when a game is that long, they normally have stuff added to it. And I will tell you, the first game I played so much, I unlocked every lightsaber crystal. I unlocked all the side quests. I did everything. This one, I actually found an XP farm early in the game. Yes, and I found out that if you actually use a force push on the specific enemy in the very first planet when you get to it, and you force push him into the wall and then force push him when he's stunned off the cliff, you get double experience. So
no kidding.
It gives you like a quarter of your experience bar filled up every time you kill him, and it's right next to a save point, a meditation point. So you can just go there, go back. So every 4 runs you level up. So if you want to make your Jedi super powerful right off the bat, I highly suggest it. And if you're like me and you played forward, there is an actual perk mod that you can put on that gives you 4 times experience, but it takes all your perk slots. So if you do it with that, just saying, lots of experience for anybody out there. So there's my tip of the day. But so with Star Wars being out, then we've got the big one that everybody's been talking about, and then we're going to talk about the charity push that we're going to be doing this month, which is probably the most important out of all of these. But Redfall goes live tonight into tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, here's one thing that is amazing. The game is cross-play between PC and Xbox. You know why? Because it's on Game Pass, and Game Pass members on PC can play with console Xbox players. Now, it is an Xbox exclusive. This is one of the big first-person first AAA games that have come from the studios that made Dishonored and a bunch of other stuff, and it's a vampire hunting game.
It's from Arcane in Austin, Arcane Studios in Austin.
Yep.
And it's astounding. It's again, it appears at least in the testing that we did when we were able to play the beta.
Yep.
It was fun, so much fun.
Yeah, it was a blast, and I will say this too. Like, Xbox has done such a good job of marketing this and pushing it, and I'm really excited to see their first big AAA game out the studio, because a lot of people say they don't have any good games, like, and it's most of the time Sony people. But look, I'm just saying, like, this console war
shenanigans
gotta stop. Yeah, it's gotta stop. Like, who gives a crap? It's about the games and the people who play them. That is the important part. And you know what? If you like mouse and keyboard, great. If you like controller, great. If you're a PC player who plays with a controller like me, because certain games don't play good with mouse and keyboard, great. Whatever the case may be. But if you're playing a game that you should be using mouse and keyboard to get quick action, attack, you know, being able to swivel really fast and be able to turn or scope or whatever the case may be, mouse keyboard is the way to go. It's not that I can't mouse keyboard. M and K is great for certain games. I've always used M&K for all my MMOs and all my RPGs, and I've always enjoyed those. Now, granted, they don't have the fast motion like FPSs, but it still doesn't mean that the way you play is any different. So just enjoy it. Enjoy the games. But we have Redfall coming out. It is free on Game Pass Ultimate. So as long as you got Game Pass Ultimate, you'll get it for free, which is also a big perk. And they have the Bite Back Edition, which is $100. It's a big whack. It's $100 if you want it. But this game is a continuous game. There are going to be seasons. And there are going to be a battle pass. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. So a lot of people are like, is this going to be like Vampire Killing Destiny? Kinda.
Ish.
But I hate comparing games to games. If any game I would compare it to, it's Dishonored but multiplayer. And that to me is awesome. We have not had a good vampire game to me, we haven't really had one in a long time other than Castlevania, because I love Castlevania. Yeah. But just in general, those type of things, we haven't had one like that. It's always zombies and zombies and zombies.
Well, and this isn't just vampires.
It's supernatural. They said that it is based around vampires, but that doesn't mean we might not get some weird like variants and stuff. And with it being in that supernatural realm, vampires can be a lot of different things. They can turn into werewolves. They can turn into bats. I've heard that some of these vampire lords are insane, insane, and
it's going to require a lot of coordination and a lot of teamwork to get past these guys.
Well, the first reviews came out of the multiplayer, and they said not only is it seamless, but it's 4 people. They all have different classes and they all have different abilities. So the people that you go in with really do make a difference. And there's going to be multiple difficulties, which is also cool. And it's drop in, drop out, which is fantastic. I love crossplay with freaking drop in and drop out. Oh, hey, I got to go. Peace. And then they just dip. Yeah. It doesn't have to reset your game. They can join back in when they're done eating dinner. Boom. And it scales the difficulty of the enemies, which is fantastic. So think of it like a first-person Diablo, in a sense.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of aspects of things that we love. Now, a lot of people have been bashing it. Oh, launch, 30 frames per second. All right. This could be a similar issue with what just happened with Star Wars. But from everything that I have seen, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even at 30 frames per second. But it's 30 frames per second in 4K.
Yep.
So, if you're just doing 1080, I'm sure you can get 60 frames per second. And a lot of people aren't using that logic. They're just like, what? Oh my God, the whole world's ending. Wow. So look, but just like Star Wars, they said it's not going to happen 60 frames per second or higher until after launch. So they already have that in the works. They already know. But I think the big thing was they wanted to get it out so people can enjoy it. And then you're going to have those performance upgrades and you're going to enjoy it even more. Because if this is going to be an ongoing game with a season pass, you know they have stuff already in the works. And there was probably stuff that they had to do to make that happen. So Redfall comes out tonight / early tomorrow morning, depending when you get up. We are planning on playing it. But there is so much going on from between Dead Island, between Star Wars, between Redfall coming out. But tomorrow
Destiny
is the
2.
most important.
Yes.
Because you guys know how much of a Bungie supporter I am, and I am an official Bungie content creator. And I've been working with the Bungie Foundation for multiple events now. And the Game to Give events are always amazing. But tomorrow, the Guardian games start. If you guys don't know what the Guardian games are, basically it puts all the classes against each other, which one time a year, it's like the Olympics in Destiny. A lot of people are like, well, they recycle content. It's the same thing every single year. Well, this year it's not. You know why? Because we're doing a charity event alongside it. And me, DJ, and along with other many awesome content creators. And if you would like to join our team, all of us are going for an ultimate goal of raising $10,000 combined from our communities to help and support the amazing people over at Donor Drive and the other amazing charities that are involved with this charity drive. But it starts tomorrow. Donations will be open tomorrow. We're going to be pushing it on stream for the entire month of May. So everybody come support. There's going to be a bunch of new exotics, a bunch of new shiny goodies. There's going to be a new scout rifle. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. First strand scout rifle ever in the game. And we're going to put against one another to see who's the number one. Last year, it was the Titans that won.
Yep.
The year before that, it was Warlocks. And the year before that, it was Hunter. So who's going to take home the second trophy? Because Hunter Master Race. But, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we are going to be pushing, and we're going to be raising money. All of us have individual goals. I raised $11,000 back in December and that was just me without a team. This time we have a team, and all of us together will be able to raise money. So, yes.
And for those of you who are wondering what the Bungie Foundation is, and this is one of the first charities I ever worked with back when I was originally on Twitch. Their biggest focus is, that entertainment plays a vital role in your health and well-being. If you are happy, you are going to heal faster. Kids in hospitals definitely need that boost of positivity, that something else to focus on aside from the fact they're in a strange place and they know something's wrong.
Yep.
Opportunities to help and assist with parents who might be having issues with transportation or, making sure that there's a spot for them. These are just some of the amazing things that this foundation does. They have a humanitarian aid division that responds to disasters and for disaster relief. They work worldwide. Bungie Foundation is incredible. And if you haven't gotten involved with it, please consider doing so. Even if it's just $1 or $2. And I'll tell you one thing, if you drop the $25 into it, you get something special. If you donate $25 to the Bungie Foundation in our streams, tell them what they get.
Yeah, so basically what you guys are going to get, just for donating $25, you're going to get the Quantum Relay emblem. It's actually really cool. And there's also going to be some other additional perks for the teams that raise the most money. So basically the top 4 teams of each category awarded with some sweet prizes, including custom art of the Fire Team of Variant Art, custom art Fire Team by Gamma Trap. These are all limited edition, like super rare. Second place for the top 2 teams in the category are going to get a Guardian Games pendant worth $200 for every member of the team. Top 3, every single person is going to get the Apricot Dawn emblem. And then for the top 4 teams, every single person gets a $50 gift card for themselves to buy something cool for raising money. So it's pretty cool. Right now we are in the top 10 overall. The Lost City Guardians, we got everybody together. That's actually our clan and we're all in it together, but anybody is welcome to join. And by contributing to this official registered team, aka us, throughout the Guardian Games Cup, we will be supporting 2 charities. The Direct Relief, which is a humanitarian aid organization active in the U.S. and more than 80 countries with a mission to improve health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies without regard to politics, religion, or ability to pay. And then also, it will also support the International Rescue Committee response to the world's most humanitarian crisis, including the conflicts in Ukraine, the crisis in Afghanistan. They help to restore health, safety, education, economic well-being, and power to help people in devastating conflicts and disasters. They are proud to fight for the world where women and girls have equal chance to succeed. So 2 amazing charities, and it's going to be going through Donor Drive. Everybody is so awesome, and I know for a fact that everybody that's tuning in to our community and our channels, or if you're just a content creator and you want to take part in this amazing thing and join our team to help us raise that $10,000, the link will be down below. You guys can click it, join our team. Anybody is welcome to join the team. There is no limit. We want everybody to join. Let's raise that money. Let's hit the cap. Let's crush it. Let's show Bungie and the Bungie Foundation what we are capable of doing as a combined unit, not just one content creator, but all of us. So if you're interested in that, the link will be down below. You can click that. If you just want to donate to the cause and support, get that emblem, or you want to go all out and go ham and be like, hey, $10,000, hey, I'm rich, here you go. Let's do it. Let's make a difference. They are all tax writable, so you can write them all off next year. You'll get all that money back, and you'll support somebody in need now. So make sure you guys click those links, check them all out, join our team, the Lost City Guardians. We're going to kick some, and we're going to do it because we're going to crush that goal. I want to hit it by the end of the month. So let's make it happen. We're going to be raising
we
money
got
for
30 days to do this. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so the actual cutoff is May 23rd. So it's May 2nd to the 23rd. So yes, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I am so sorry, Combat Rhino.
It's totally fine. But I mean, it's close to a month. So basically, this is going to be to show what we can do. And we're gonna crush this. So I'm super excited about this opportunity. And our good friend Jared, aka Heavy Metal Poet, over there at the Bungie Foundation, he has been a strong supporter of helping us grow and expand here, making content for not only Destiny, but but he has been so supportive of what we do. So again, thank you so much for all of your help with that.
Yes,
and all the amazing staff at Bungie. I have so many friends that work over there. Liana, she's one of the community managers. She is, I've known that woman for a very long time, and she is fantastic. I actually met her at a charity event for Extra Life at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was one of the hosts/guests. And when people dropped the ball, I stepped up and helped out, and that's what it comes down to. All of us just, a lot of people got tax returns. A lot of people got stuff back. Well, guess what? You can get that back on your tax return next year. Help some people in need. So let's make it happen. So with all of that, with all the craziness that happened, we are also lining up some guests for the show. I know we've been saying that. We've been trying to make it happen. We also have a big meeting for a potential sponsor for the channel and for the podcast. So hopefully that all pans out, and you guys will hear more about that soon. And we're working hard every single day. Also, I am planning on revamping and doing some new merch for everybody to pick up, and that will go towards supporting what we do. Think of it like our Patreon. You guys go purchase merch. It helps pay the bills, keeps the lights on. We got partnership. We broke 5,000 subscribers last week.
Woo,
so
there you go, buddy.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting me and DJ and what we do. And everything that we're doing for this month, it's a lead up. Come into our channel, say hello, donate, support the charity cause, support us. Let's just keep doing it. Let's keep doing our stuff. Please leave your comments below. There was a lot of heavy topics to talk about, but also, a lot of fun ones too. And I'm excited to see what you guys all think about the game, even with some of the bad reviews or good reviews. We got a lot more to talk about this month, and we're going to have reviews on Redfall hopefully next week. We'll have more on Dead Island 2. We'll have more reviews as we dive into Star Wars. We have the Guardian games. We'll give you an update next Monday of where we're at and how we're raising money and what our goal is. So hopefully with us doing this podcast, we can continue to grow that. We'll make sure we include those links every single episode for the month. Let's be number one. I know we can do it. All of us together can do this. No problem. I know we can hit that 10,000 goal or more. I mean, obviously, if we can get, 500,000, I would love it. I have my own personal goal that I want to hit because I'm rounding up here because I know it's in the 60s, but I'm a little under 70,000 to hit $1 million raised for charity through my channel.
What the heck?
In 7 years. We have done that, Lost City, so I appreciate you. And the Respawn All-Stars and my community, the Lost City, we're all combined effort. We all team and support each other, so let's freaking do it. So, DJ, do you have anything else to add before we wrap this bad boy up?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, you can wrap that up with some TP. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sounds like we need to end this so he can go to poops. But no, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. DJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me at all the different places at DJBLUEPDX. You can also find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific over at CLX Gaming TV on Twitch, where we go inside custom builds and assemble them from the ground up.
Yes. And also, too, CLX has been so great and gracious to both of us, and we're going to be working with them over at DreamHack at the end of this month, early month, for DreamHack Dallas. So we are going to be there. So if you guys are planning on coming out, make sure that you guys come say hello to us, say hi. I'm planning on having some goodies for us to hand out and do some cool stuff, too, for the podcast. So make sure that you guys swing by and say hello. It's going to be in Dallas. This is actually going to be my first DreamHack Dallas. So my first DreamHack ever was in San Diego last month, but we're going to keep pushing forward. CLX has been so amazing about everything they do for me and DJ. So seriously, much more on that later this month. And we have some big surprises for you too. And also, You guys can find me everywhere. The Lost Drake, across the board, everywhere. Blee, blue, blee. We're going to be playing a lot of video games this week. I'm probably going to even extend my hours a little bit this week to play games because I'm actually enjoying games for once because we have so many to play. So
yeah,
this week's going to be crazy. A lot of extended hours, a lot of fun. We're going to get this video up as fast as possible. But again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow the Pardon the Distraction podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere that we are located, which is everywhere. And also, too, if you guys just want to tune in and listen, you guys can follow us at iHeart, Amazon Music, and also Spotify. So make sure you guys do that. And also all the other ones, too, because they're all up there. But yes, thank you guys so much for all your love. We will see you guys next Monday. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Bye.
Later.
Bye, bye, bye.